General Motors killing its most affordable electric vehicle, and it is actually the most affordable electric mass market vehicle here in the United States. Rest in peace, Bolt. Are we going to miss you? I know some people out there will definitely miss the Bolt. If you have a little bit of sentiment for the Bolt, pour one out for our homies by smashing the like button for the Bolt and the Bolt EUV. Car Driver did a 10 cheapest EVs in America. The Bolt EV with LT1 trim, 27 grand. Has a 65. We'll actually talk about the specs here more in a little bit. And then the slightly bigger brother, the Bolt EUV, rest in peace, 2023, last model year for these. Partners in crime. At Edmunds EV test, the Chevy Bolt didn't do too bad here. It outpaced the EPA estimates, at least in their test cycle, and got 278 miles there. And the Bolt EUV outpaced the 247 miles and got 265 miles. And going on to cars.com, you can actually find some of these out on the market if you're lucky. Like, demand for them is pretty high from my understanding. Affordable EV that qualifies for the EV tax credit. And gosh, there's really not that many here in Florida. Within 200 miles of where I live, there's only 6. And yeah, they're really mostly the 2LT model. I think a lot of people with the 1LT under the 30,000, they're just hard to find. Here's one for under 27,000, but that's 442 miles away. And in 2021, they had that big old recall from LG Chem, taking back all the batteries due to fire risks, and GM pushed the bill onto LG Chem. That was always an interesting headline to talk about. But that didn't stop this cheap, affordable EV from spiking in 2022. Back in January, GM authorities said, here's when the Bolt EV and EUV will end. And they were expecting them to cease in production November 7, 2023 at the GM Lake Orion plant in Michigan. And the 2023 model year will last a total of 16 months. And this last production year of Bolt EV should be as high as 70,000 units, which they weren't even hitting 40,000. So demand and interest for the Bolt EV is spiking, and they're killing the vehicle. Here's why they're doing it. Over at Automotive News, GM to stop making Bolt EV in late 2023 because GM is spending $4 billion to overhaul the Bolt plant for production of electric pickup trucks. Massive, super expensive, worse for the environment, huge behemoth electric pickup trucks starting in 2024. If you missed my video earlier today, we talked about the $3 billion battery plant that Samsung and General Motors is working on, should be pumping out vehicles by 2020, or batteries for vehicles in 2026. This is their 4th plant. The first 3 were with LG Chem. LG Chem didn't want to do any more plants with General Motors to make things safe, a good, safe business decision. And so they're switching over to another Korean rival of SK, the good old Samsung. And since the introduction of the Bolt in 2016, GM has sold more than 161,000 in the United States. So your options for cheap EVs are disappearing, at least for now, until Chevy brings in the Equinox EV. And this should be coming fall of this year to coincide with the death of the Bolt EV. It looks better than the Bolt EV, or at least in this trim, we know that the base model won't look like this. Right, pre-production model shown, actual model, they vary. The full lineup will be starting about a year from now in the spring of 2024. And big surprise, they're launching with one of the most expensive trims of the Equinox EV that will cost well over the $30,000 that they're talking about on this 1LT. So yes, it will be a better car. It'll have better acceleration, it'll have better range, better charging than the Bolt EV as well as the Bolt EUV. But we don't know a lot about production volume of this vehicle yet. I would assume that they'd be able to eclipse over 100,000 units, maybe not in the first year, but the first couple of years. We have massive upgrade in display technology here as well, and long live the rotary dials for volume up here as well as climate control down here. I do appreciate that. AC fast charging over 11 kilowatts. So I actually made a spreadsheet when Volkswagen came out with the E-Rabbit, or that's what I'm calling it, the ID2 All, and we had some numbers there with horsepower 0 to 60. We had some range estimates as well. They said it's going to be a $25,000 car. We don't know if it's coming to America. We'll probably get something a little bit bigger like the E-Golf or E-GTI or whatever they want to call it when it gets here. So I put it against the Chevy Bolt. So there's all the rest in peace specs of the Chevy Bolt. And then we have the Equinox, which is going to have so many different configurations. 1, 2, 3 LT, and then you have a 2RS and a 3RS. We don't know battery sizes. There's going to be a front wheel drive model, all-wheel drive models. There'll be a front-wheel drive long-range model. So the prices of these things are going to vary wildly as well. So I would expect base horsepower to be around 200, and max horsepower with the all-wheel drive models be around 300. 0 to 60 is hard to say. So it could be somewhere around 6.5 seconds with 200 horsepower or so and a small battery pack, and maybe around 5 seconds 0 to 60 with 300 horsepower and a larger battery pack. It's just really tough to say at this point. We don't know miles of range either. We have been quoted from General Motors up to 300 miles of range, so that's best case scenario. And we know that it can put in about 70 miles of range in about 10 minutes with their charging, which I think is around 150 kilowatts of charging, which is way faster than the Chevy Bolts. We don't know cargo capacity yet. Should start around $30,000, but that will be on the 1LT model. We don't know exact availability, sometime spring of 2024. So anyways, it'll cost somewhere between the mid to low 20s after the tax rebate, all the way to $40,000 plus for the top models with all-wheel drive, all the technology, sound systems, bits and bobs, sunroofs, etc. Am I sad that the Chevy Bolt's dying? I kind of miss the cute hatchback nature of the Bolt. I'm a Prius owner, so my heart goes out anytime a little cute hatchback dies. And now we have another small, super compact crossover SUV sort of thing, which looks like anything else out there at this point. So it loses a little bit of its nature to fit in with the masses of crossovers at this point. So let me know if you would pick the looks of this Equinox over the Bolt. I mean, objectively, yes, it is. And subjective, probably on both measures, it does look better than the Bolt. But the Bolt was just so cute, quirky, and affordable. But, this is a better vehicle in every sense of the imagination than the Bolt was. If it's not, let me know down below. Price. It's not better than the Bolt in price, in theory. We don't have it on the market yet. But anyways, I just felt like making a little tribute video to the Bolt, what it's going to be replaced by. And I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about the Bolt and its storied history with recalls and price drops, etc. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button if you made it this far in the video. Appreciate you. Have a great day.